This video is going to save you money that you are actively burning every single day, and it is going to unlock revenue that you did not know existed. These are the top 5 most expensive Klaviyo mistakes that you are probably making and how to fix them. I'm going to move through these as fast as I can. First, let's briefly touch on why you should watch this video. You're actively burning cash in your Klaviyo account just by the missed opportunities and simple mistakes that you can fix in just a matter of minutes. The goal of this video is to help you make money by tomorrow. A lot of the stuff we go over on this channel takes time, but this video is meant to make you money tomorrow. I've been inside over 100 7-figure e-commerce Klaviyo accounts, and I fix these mistakes all the time, and in some cases, these are making brands an extra $10,000, $20,000 per month. These exact mistakes I'm going over in this video. This quick video will show you what they are, and then how to fix them in the next 24 hours so that, again, you can make money tomorrow. So, again, here's some information on me, some profiles, social media, whatever you want, but let's just go straight into mistake number one. Number one is smart sending turned on in all of your flows. And so, what is smart sending? Smart sending is an auto-selected feature in Klaviyo Flow emails, and kind of the purpose of it and why Klaviyo has it is to limit the amount of emails that a customer receives from you in a set period of time. So, essentially, it's going to skip sending a flow email to somebody who received another email from you in the past 16 hours. So, say you sent them an email at 10 a.m. and they get triggered into a flow at 2 p.m., it's going to skip them from receiving those emails. So this is what it looks like kind of inside Klaviyo. When you have a flow email pulled up, you have this green little check mark here over the email icon, and that just means that smart sending is on. So people are getting skipped at a high frequency. So you can see for this example, this is an abandoned cart email, and you can see it was delivered to 233 people, and it was skipped. 1,200 people skipped. Now, some of these people are going to be people who just don't qualify for the email, but a lot of these are also going to be people who didn't receive it because of smart sending and they were skipped. So why is smart sending bad? Why is this a mistake? So many of your abandoned carts and abandoned browse, site abandon, all that will come from people who clicked on one of your campaigns and then abandons an email. Say you send a product drop email, somebody goes, they add it to their cart, and then they leave. If smart sending is on, they are not going to receive that abandoned cart email. For such high converting emails like an abandoned cart email, you really want the customer to receive it no matter what, even if it means you're sending 2 emails in one day. It's just a wasted opportunity, and it is completely burning cash. We have seen something like this. Literally, it's just the first thing I look at when I'm looking at Klaviyo accounts. We've seen this add 40% more revenue to cart abandoned and browse abandoned emails. It's just that simple. Takes just a few seconds. So how to fix this mistake? So you just want to click on all of your flow emails and just scroll to settings. So if you were to click on this right here, you'll see settings over here on the right side. If you scroll to the bottom to the settings tab, there's going to be a box here for skip recently emailed profiles. That's what smart sending is, and so you want to ensure that this box is unchecked for all of your flow emails. I never have it on. You can have it on for some campaigns if you want. I just keep it off for everything. At the end of the day, more emails is better as long as your unsubscribes are low and your spams are low. You don't have to worry about this at all. Smart sending, super easy, low-hanging fruit. Go into your Klaviyo account right now, click onto every single flow email, and make sure that this is turned off. Super easy. We're starting off simple with this one because that is a very high leverage task. Low input, very high output. Next, mistake number 2 is no abandoned cart flow. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, I have an abandoned cart flow. You probably don't. So cart abandon is different than checkout abandon. So please go look. 90% of the brands I audit just don't have a proper cart abandon flow. Now I'd bet money that you have a cart abandon flow, but the trigger is set as checkout started. Look at the trigger, whatever it is. If it says added to cart, okay, you're good. If it says checkout started, you're not. This is because Klaviyo's abandoned cart flow is incorrect. The templates that they use is just incorrect. They use a checkout started trigger, and because the added to cart metric isn't automatically inside of Shopify and Klaviyo, and you need to manually install it. So let's just look at the difference here. So this is what you probably only have, abandoned checkout. So this is abandoned cart. A user adds to their cart. So if somebody just clicks the add to cart button, and then they have this little tab that shows up on the screen. If they were to exit out, then 90% of these brands I audit aren't sending an email telling these people that they abandoned an item. Usually what everybody has is a user adds to cart and then clicks this checkout button and it takes them to this page. In Klaviyo, this is what checkout abandon is doing. It's somebody who actually goes to this page, which, as you can imagine, is probably a lot less than the amount of people who are simply adding to cart. Now, if we're talking about why do we want to fix this problem, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Without a cart abandoned flow, you're leaving all that cart abandoned revenue on the table. Just by including this for this brand, we added $20,000 a month. You can see it was over nothing because it wasn't installed. Add the added to cart trigger, and then you can see $20,000 and $20,000 per month over 12 months. Let's see, what is that? I'm not a math guy, but $240,000 per year just added from the abandonments. That simple. So, how to fix this problem? To be honest, this one is going to be a little bit more work if you're not very good inside Shopify, but it is pretty simple, and I've made it as simple as I can to get this installed for you. So the first step you need is get an added to cart metric. So Klaviyo, the integration with Shopify, isn't going to automatically do this, so you need to manually add this. So there are 2 steps in adding an added to cart metric to your store and inside of Klaviyo. The first one is you need to add the snippet to your Shopify, and then the second is you need to test that it's working. That simple. So this is a blog article. I'll have the link here in the description, so you can go to it. It's just, if you look up Klaviyo added to cart metric, this blog article will guide you as everything that you need. I've also cleaned up the steps for you, so you can add a snippet in your Shopify. This is if you do have custom liquid blocks. If this is like gibberish to you, then follow the Klaviyo guide, and it's going to help you a little bit. It's going to walk you through it. And then if you don't have custom liquid blocks, then this is what the steps that you're going to follow. It's a little bit more annoying, but it's super easy. If it's this, you just go to a default product, insert a custom liquid, and then you just paste the snippet. And then you're all set. And then once you add that snippet to your store, just click save, and then you can test it just by going to your website. Whatever your website is, add this to the end of your URL. So Klaviyo gives an example here. You just put it here. So if it's Nike, nike.com/this, and then put your email, and then just add an item to your cart. Add an item to your cart, yes, and then go to Klaviyo, look up your profile, and then you should see added to cart fired, and then boom, you're all set. That's all you need there. And then the second step, once you have the added to cart metric in, is you need to create the cart abandoned flow, because if you have the metric but you don't have emails firing for it, it's pointless. So easiest way to do it, in most cases, you're going to have a checkout abandoned flow already. So as far as content, cart abandoned and checkout abandoned, you don't need anything different. You can simply clone your checkout abandoned flow and just replace the dynamic content. So since Klaviyo is getting data from Shopify differently for checkout abandoned, it's a different event than cart abandoned. So you need to essentially put different dynamic content formulas in. So the dynamic content is when you open an email and somebody sees exactly what they left behind in their cart. That's the dynamic content. We need to switch that. And if you don't have a checkout abandoned flow, then I have a free guide here. I also have another YouTube video completely free, all my templates, and you get it exactly for free as well as the strategy. So, but as far as the abandoned cart dynamic content, if you cloned your checkout abandoned flow, even if you created a new flow, the abandonment content. So this is an exact step-by-step of what your triggers in dynamic content should be. If this all looks overwhelming, just follow this video. It's super easy. I tried to lay it out as simple as I can. And again, this doc is going to be for you in the description. And so that is mistake 2, the added to cart trigger. You need to make sure that you have an added to cart flow on top of your checkout abandoned flow. Mistake number 3, we're moving along fast here. Sending to your whole email list. So sending to your whole email list. This brings us to mistake number 3, sending to your whole email list. This is a major problem. So what is this problem? This is going to apply to anybody who's sending just every email to their whole newsletter list and getting below 35% open rates or below 40%, 50% open rates. You can't really be sending to your whole email list. All right, now why is this a problem? Sending to your entire newsletter is a one-way ticket to the spam folder. So your whole newsletter, if you're just sending to everybody that you have an email address for, you're gonna have a ton of fake emails, you're gonna have dead profiles, people who haven't opened an email in a year, they're not using that inbox anymore, and you have inboxes with tighter restrictions, and you're just ending up in the spam folder no matter what with them. You don't wanna send to them. Because if you're constantly getting 35% opens, anything below 50% opens, really below 40%, your reputation is just going to plummet, and you'll continue to land in spam. Because how deliverability works is that these inbox providers, they're going to track the activity on your emails. If your domain, you're sending it out to people and nobody's opening them, then that tells Google that hey, people probably don't want to receive these emails, and it's probably like spammy, so that increases your odds of landing in the spam folder. So if you're consistently sending to everybody, including dead profiles, your open rates are going to be low, and you're just going to lower your reputation until you're just completely in spam, and it's just a spiraling loop that you don't want. So you never want to send to your whole email list unless you're like doing a big event. So here's how to fix this problem. Super simple. You just want to send to your engaged lists, meaning people who have interacted with an email in the last like X amount of days. I typically recommend 60 to 90 days, and then use these as your base send. So rather than just automatically send to your newsletter, automatically send to like your 60-day engaged list. And then like once a month, if you have like larger events, like you're doing a site-wide sale or you have a big product drop and you want to make sure that everybody sees this, then you can open it up to your whole newsletter list. Usually recommend once a month to try to like send it out to the whole list, some sort of email to try to re-engage those people, because it's always important to constantly try to re-engage people and get them back into your content. So as far as segments, super easy inside of Klaviyo. Just go to Klaviyo, and then you go to the list area, and then you just create a segment. So segments are just going to be automatically like lists that are automatically going to change based on a customer's activity. So here's just a base template if you want to use for your engaged list. So just named it the engaged template, and the definition that you want is what somebody has done. They opened email at least once in the last 60 days. That's simple. And then add an or, and then what somebody has done, clicked email at least once in the last 60 days. So anybody who's opened or clicked an email in the last 60 days. Now, we want to put an or here because sometimes Klaviyo won't track the open, but it will track the click. So just to get those people who clicked but it didn't get the open, we want to make sure that they're in this list as well. So then the next parameter that we want is somebody can receive email marketing because they're subscribed. We want to make sure that they haven't unsubscribed or anything. And then the last one is make sure, so what somebody has done, bounced email 0 times over all time. So essentially a bounce is just like if it's the email address doesn't exist, or it's like somebody where like you're blocked. And so a bounce is just going to be you try to send it to somebody and then it's just like denied. So we want to prevent sending from anybody that has bounced before. So it's super simple. Just for all of your campaigns, just send to this engaged list, and then for bigger stuff, you can open it up. And this brings us to our next mistake, which is no or an underperforming pop-up form. So what is a pop-up form? The pop-up forms are the forms that show up on your site, ask for your email address in exchange for some sort of incentive. I'm sure you know what pop-up forms are, but we need to talk a little bit about them and their importance. So without pop-up forms, you're probably driving paid ad traffic, or you're working on like organic, and you're putting in all this effort to bring you site traffic. So these people that you paid so much to acquire, you're investing so much in time to acquire them, are just going to leave and never come back. It's very hard to get somebody to buy the first time they visit your site. So if you pay for them to go to your site and then you just let them leave, then you just don't have their information. So pop-ups are going to lower your cost of acquisition and then also grow your email list. So it's going to lower your cost of acquisition because email is very cheap. If we get somebody's email address off of a paid ad, then we're able to send them very cheap content to get them to eventually trust us and buy from us, lowering the cost of acquisition. And then also increase your lifetime value because you have them on your email list. You're constantly able to sell to them. Email is the #1 retention tool for getting people to come back to your brand. So lower your cost of acquisition, increase your lifetime value, and of course, that is all good stuff. So let's just go over again, like, why are they so important? I think it's best to just go over an example. We achieved these results without touching any emails for a brand. We just increased their pop-up conversion rate from 2.5% to 8.75%. So what that means is 2.5% of site traffic was signing up to the email list, and we took it to 8.75%. 8.75% of site traffic was turning into email subscribers. So as a result, the monthly email welcome flow, so after somebody signs up, what are the emails that we're sending them? We didn't touch these. We didn't touch their emails at all. Same emails, same site traffic, everything. And their welcome flow revenue went from $7,000 a month automatically to $25,000 a month, which is pretty ridiculous. So that's a direct 3.5x in the pop-up conversion rate, 3.5x in conversion rate, and then 3.5x increase in revenue, which we can see here. It was about $7,000. Here's the $7,000 mark. This was the 4-month period before. And then this was the first month after getting the forms live. You can see the average order value, the exact same. The monthly site visitors didn't change. It wasn't like we were getting a lot more people on the list, but just how the math comes out, 30,000 times 0.025 is 750. And then the welcome flow placed order rate was the same, and it's just that big of a difference. So to go into that even more, over a 12-month period, that equates to 31,500 subscribers per year. compared to $9,000, which it was before, and then $300,000 in revenue compared to $84,000 in revenue. So this also doesn't take into account the new subscribers who are going to buy multiple times throughout the year and then continue to buy because we have them on the email list. That is why pop-ups are so important. Just get a good pop-up. Make sure it's good with your site and it blends in. People like pop-up forms. They like having discounts and things like that. So how to solve this problem, I have a full guide for free here. I also have a YouTube video that I did recently, a very long guide on pop-up forms, how to install them, how to make them high converting, because we want to reach that kind of like 8 to 12% range. But here's also a video of me creating a highly effective form inside of Klaviyo for both mobile and desktop. Just to keep this video short, I'm not going to play these videos. I want to keep this nice, short, and sweet, but you can check out the other video of mine on my channel, or you can also watch these in the document in the description of this video. This takes us to mistake number 5, and that is only sending 1 to 2 emails per week. So let's go straight to why is this a mistake. I don't need to explain like what it is. It means the email campaigns that are going to like your engaged segments, only sending like once or twice a week. So I'm just going to save you 2 years of A/B testing campaign frequency and working on over 50 accounts and being inside over 100 on campaign frequency to get you the highest return. We've tested all of it from 2 per day to 2 per month. This is what we found. So when we're sending 1 to 2 times per week, the customer just kind of forgets about you. They kind of like forget. They're not used to seeing you in the inbox, and they're just unable to form a habit of like constantly seeing you and opening your emails. And it just is leaving money on the table. You might have better engagement at times, but there's just a lot of untapped revenue that you're leaving on the table. And then if we go to sending 5 to 7 times per week, so we go to the other side of the spectrum, when you're sending like every day or almost every day, you're getting higher unsubscribes. Customers can get a little bit annoyed, and then it dilutes the power of your messaging. If you're sending so much, then the power of each message is kind of diluted, and it doesn't carry as much weight. And then the revenue just kind of plateaus. You get diminishing returns. And then sending 3 to 4 times per week, so kind of like every other day, we've noticed very high revenue, very low unsubscribes, actually lower unsubscribes than sending 1 to 2 times per week. You're able to constantly stay top of mind with your customer, and every email that you send has equal weight and impact. So it's not like somebody's seeing you every single day. There's a little bit of a gap. People are busy, and so but when they see you, they recognize you. So you can kind of like see like this person, when you're sending once a week, it's just kind of like, I kind of forgot I subscribed to this person. What are they doing in my inbox? And whereas if you're constantly sending them emails every other day, it's just like, oh yeah, this brand, I expect, like you subconsciously expect to receive emails consistently from brands that you always see. So how to solve this mistake. So we just want to send 3 emails per week minimum. We want to give value, education, and product information, whatever that may be. And now your emails shouldn't be long, extensive essays. I talk to a lot of brands where they're like, how the heck are you creating all these emails? Well, it's because like the emails that they're sending are like 1,000 words. Like you don't want to do that because first of all, nobody's reading all that. And then second of all, that just takes too much time, and it's just going to plateau in terms of like your efficiency and your revenue. So rather, instead of having long, extensive essays in your emails that don't convert and people don't read them anyways, you want to have quick, punchy, and digestible pieces of content that someone can consume in 5 to 10 seconds. Because if we're going to be honest, people aren't sitting down to like annotate their emails that they're receiving. They're just getting up to go to the bathroom or something, or they're waiting for their kid to come out of practice and they have a couple seconds to check their email. They're going to open your email for a couple seconds, like quickly scroll through, and then like go to the next one. So that's really what you want to do. You just want to focus and optimize for the little stuff. So ideation can be tough if you're just starting out, whereas like if you have a ton of experience, you can just rip out a ton of examples. But we use what's called micro topics as kind of like our little framework for coming up with email ideas. So I have a full training on campaign strategy, ideation, creating emails, what are the winning templates, and then also ChatGPT frameworks for coming up with essentially unlimited. There's another free guide. It's on my YouTube channel as well. If you want the free guide, it's like 80-page document for free. You can sign up for it there. But essentially, like to summarize what we're doing with micro topics is we just want to take our, looks like these are upside down, but we have our brand niche. And so think of your niche and just think of 4 macro topics in your niche. So if you're like a supplement brand for weight gain, you can have different macro topics as like protein powders. You can have one as like weight gain. You can have one as like diet, and you can have one as like workouts. And then under each macro topic, you can come up with 10, however many micro topics that you want. So under the macro topic of, say, diet, you could create like high protein, low carb meals. You could send an email about how to meal prep, the best recipe for this. Those are little micro topics that you can use. How to properly track your macros for carbs, sugars, proteins, and fats. So those are all little micro topics that you can send one quick, digestible email about. And so then you just need to have the systems in place to write copy, design, and get that all figured out. And those are the main mistakes. The last mistake is not working with a boutique email agency that actually cares about you. Hint, Wellcopy, that is my agency. So book a call if you want a free Klaviyo audit, and I'll take care of all these issues for you. And I will estimate how much revenue we think we could increase your monthly revenue by. Give you an action plan, even if you want to do it yourself. Give you an action plan of what you should do. Make sure that you join my newsletter. Sign up is just inboxnewsletter.com/subscribe. You can find me here, and yeah, book a call if you're interested. If not, thank you so much for watching the video, and be on the lookout for more ones coming out soon.